If everybody has a piece of paper and a raffle ticket and like snacks and stuff and sign the sign-in sheet, we're gonna get started. Okay. So my name is Miranda and my topic is on anxiety, because I know a lot of us are affected by it, and you know, there's midterms now, finals are coming up, so we're gonna learn about some like coping strategies and everything like that. If any of you guys are, you shouldn't be, but if any of you guys actually have anxiety and you're triggered by anything, like you see or hear or anything like that, like, you know, feel free to step out, or we have like, you know, counseling services that we can offer you, and there's a counselor in the back too. So yeah, just in case, you know, you guys are feeling any type of way, but you shouldn't be. Okay, so what is anxiety? Occasional anxiety is normal. Like, all of us get anxious once in a while, just like I am right now. So if I stutter a little, that's why. So yeah, all of us get anxious at certain times, but there is a point where it becomes actually like debilitating to somebody's life to have anxiety, and it interferes with their day-to-day activities. Anxiety disorders cause constant worry and fear and interfere with daily activities. There are several different types of anxiety, so we're going to talk about those later. The most popular one is generalized anxiety disorder. A lot of people have that type of disorder, and you know, it's a constant like worry or fear that something like this might happen to you, or that something's going to go wrong. Most common mental illness is anxiety in general, like over depression, PTSD, all those things. That would be the worst. I mean, PTSD is also kind of a form of anxiety, so a lot of them can co-occur, but anxiety is one of the most common ones. So a lot of people really do struggle with it. 1 in 13 people suffer from anxiety, so very prevalent. I have a few videos to show you guys, just so you guys can get like a better idea of what anxiety looks like for somebody. I don't know how to escape this. Yeah. I never know how to figure that out, honestly. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. What having anxiety feels like.
Megan and Louie have impeccable taste. In shoes and shoe boxes.
I thought this was it.
Real chicken sometimes tastes like a reservation for two. No wonder it's the only one cats ask for by name.
From the outside, it's easy to think that somebody's got it all figured out. Because my hair is curled and my cheeks are intentionally flushed, I must not have a care in the world. As if it were expected for my demons to be worn like a scarlet letter pinned to my chest. And they assume if you cannot see it, then it's not really there. As if pain does not exist unless you're bleeding or slung in a cast or staggering with a limp. But sometimes the most painful demons are the ones they can't even see. So we learn how to smile, how to grin and bear it, because nobody likes to talk about the tough stuff. Hell, I don't like to talk about the tough stuff. I have anxiety. It feels like every cell in my body is moving so fast that my veins are blurry. That despite the constant metronome of my heartbeat inside my ears, it's like listening to a spastic drum line. It feels like bees in my ears, like a broken white noise machine playing all of the sounds at once. And I don't even realize I'm gritting my teeth or cracking my knuckles or rubbing my forefinger against my pinky or twisting the gold band on my middle finger, holding onto myself like I'm the only lifeline bridging the gap between reality on my own 2 feet and the atomically loud abyss of noises and sounds and feelings of fleeting rushing through my veins. And I'm avoiding eye contact. Not because I'm not listening to what you're saying, because I'm listening to the sound of my own voice, hoping that through your ears you can't hear that it's 2 octaves too high and on the verge of breaking because my palms are sweating and I somehow forgot to speak with anything behind my words other than insecurity. My anxiety feels like fire, unexplainably hot and rash and frustrating as I knock the inside of my cheek as if the solution to this feeling is buried between my teeth and gums. It feels like drowning, but it feels like burning, and it feels like fucking forever. I imagine my feet moving with trails of dust behind them like those cartoons, because somehow it feels like I'm moving faster than the 60 seconds they've allowed in a minute. All the while, I'm just playing catch-up on the stopwatch. It doesn't add up like it did in high school mathematics. I can't carry the one and find the square root of the problem because most of the time, there is no problem. There's no life or death situation. There's no rhyme or reason. There's just feelings, and I'm feeling all of them at once. Some days are better than others. Some days are worse. But they're just days. And I've got more where they came from.
If anybody doesn't, like curses. I just thought that was a really good representation of like the mind state someone goes through when they have anxiety. Because I personally do suffer from anxiety, so this really was very relative to me. This one's pretty good too. It's shorter. It's only a minute and a half, but it's also very representative of what someone would go through.
Functioning anxiety looks like achievement, busyness, perfectionism. When it sneaks out, it transforms into nervous habits. Nail biting, foot tapping, running my fingers through my hair. If you look close enough, you can see it in unanswered text messages, flakiness, nervous laughter, a snake slithering up my back, clamping its jaws shut where my shoulders beat my neck, punch in the gut, stomach aches, and my body's confusing answering email with being attacked by a lion. High-functioning anxiety sounds like I'm not good enough, I'm bad for I'm not good at my job, wasting time, so my boyfriend thinks of me, why would I say, what if they, why can't I have my shit together? I'm a fraud, just good at letting everybody down, myself down here, bad friend, bad sister, bad dog, not good enough, not good enough. All the while, it appears perfectly calm. It's always looking for the next outlet, something to channel the never-ending energy. Writing, running, list-making, mindless tasks, whatever keeps you busy. Doing jumping jacks in the kitchen, dancing in the living room, pretending it's for fun, when really it's a choreographed routine of desperation. Trying to tire out the thoughts stuck in your head. It's silent anxiety attacks hidden in my smiles. It's when answering a text impulsively and thoughtlessly is an act of bravery. It's finding your own humanity in the anxiety, in your weaknesses. It's trying to let the energy inspire you instead of bring you down. A good first step is staring at it straight on and calling it by its name.
So I wanted to ask you guys, how have these two videos made you guys feel? Did you have any thoughts about them or any feelings while watching them? Yes, Mom.
It's pretty sad.
Sad? Anybody else?
It's kind of unfortunate. In the first video, she mentioned that no one cares, no one can take it seriously when you have anxiety. So I just felt really sad that
Yeah. It is kind of sad, just because it does interfere with a lot of, your day-to-day activities. You just kind of have to try to push through it constantly. But it is kind of always in the back of your mind for people who suffer with this. Anybody else have any thoughts? Did you guys feel anything while you were watching it? Personally, okay, you first.
I was really anxious watching those nervous behaviors, the foot tapping and stuff. I started triggering what I do when I'm highly anxious. So I was like, oh my God, I can stop, please.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly pretty much what I was going to say. It made me a little anxious to watch
that's
it.
exactly why I asked that question, because I'm already an anxious person, and when I was watching these, I literally felt really anxious, just by the way they were talking, and how fast some of the parts were going and everything like that, and the different visions and everything like that. But this is kind of what somebody would deal with, racing thoughts, different visions about things happening, and so different visions, different thoughts, just constant like racing in their mind. So I got really nervous, and I was wondering if anybody else felt the same anxiety from these videos that I did.
Well, I wanted to ask Miranda, is there triggers that trigger people's anxiety and the coping skills that people can do when the trigger comes on, or voice triggers?
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Thank you, good question. Okay, so signs and symptoms of anxiety in general. Feelings of panic, fear, and uneasiness, problems sleeping, cold or sweaty hands or feet, shortness of breath, racing heart, not being able to stay still and calm, dry mouth, numbness or tingling, nausea, muscle tension, dizziness, and again, the racing thoughts. So a lot of these can happen on a day-to-day basis. More of the physical ones usually happen with anxiety attacks or panic attacks, which is different than having like just regular anxiety. Because sometimes anxiety can be manageable, and like they said in the videos, people look calm, can't even tell that somebody's being anxious, but inside they are. But usually if somebody's having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, they go through a lot of physical symptoms, and you might be able to kind of notice the signs that that themselves are going through it. So those are just the general signs and symptoms if somebody is experiencing anxiety. So here are the types of anxiety. These are like the main ones. I'm sure there's probably more. But there's generalized anxiety disorder, like I said, is like the most common one that people usually experience. Obsessive compulsive disorder, social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, panic disorder, and specific phobias. So a lot of these, sometimes people wouldn't really consider anxiety, like post-traumatic stress disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder. They're kind of like considered their own kind of, disorders separate from anxiety, but people who struggle with those have like very high anxiety. That's one of like the prevalent features of them. So that's why they could be considered a type of anxiety as well. Generalized anxiety disorder. So when somebody has this disorder, they feel worried about a number of events or activities, found it hard to stop worrying, found that your anxiety made it difficult to do everyday activities, you felt restless or on edge, easily tired, difficulty concentrating, irritability, muscle tension, trouble sleeping, and like I said, this is the most common type of anxiety. Just anxiety about anything in general. Sometimes you don't even realize why you have this type of feeling. You just do. That's why you're just worried about anything and everything. Events, activities, like what someone will think about you, if you did something right. And people tend to feel irritable, obviously, because they have all these like emotions inside, and sometimes they can't get them out, and sometimes people like have like anger outbursts. Easily tired just because, like since your mind is always racing and your body's working at like a kind of flight or fight pace, it can make you like very easily exhausted, to deal with these types of symptoms. Panic disorder. So this is kind of like generalized anxiety disorder, but it's more having to do with the anxiety or panic attacks that I mentioned. So like I said, sweating, shaking, increased heart rate, short of breath, feeling like you are choking. That's like a main one. Like people get really short of breath and they have like this choking feeling. Dizziness, lightheaded, numb, feeling like you're nauseous. Some people actually throw up too. Numb or tingling, derealization. So feelings like you're not in reality or like you're drifting away. So that's why some people, when they have anxiety or panic attacks, mainly panic attacks is the most severe one, they feel like they're dying, kind of, because like they feel like they're drifting away. And also because of the increased heart rate. A lot of people think that they're having heart attacks. And they don't understand what's going on, unless, they know about panic attacks or they go to a doctor. But either way, every time you have a panic attack, for most people, they still seem to think the same things, even though they know there's nothing wrong. Hot or cold flushes, scared, losing control, or going crazy. That's another one. Like you're restless in your own skin, kind of. And I don't know why there's a question mark there, but scared to die. So. Okay, obsessive compulsive disorder. So people with OCD, they have a lot of like repetitive thoughts, repetitive things that they do, and they have a lot of associated like thoughts to these tasks that they repetitively. So like someone will, you know, turn a door knob 3 times or do this 5 times because they think that their mom's gonna die or that, you know, something bad will happen to them tomorrow or something like that. And that fear is very real to them. Like sometimes they know it's irrational, but they still do these things on a daily basis, and how many times they have to do them for themselves just because they really, at that moment, believe that that certain thing is going to happen to them. So they're extremely nervous about that. Yeah, so there's also the constantly washing your hands or clothes, kind of like a germaphobe. Like they think that they're going to get an illness if they don't wash their clothes, if they don't wash their hands, if they touch certain things. Constantly checking the doors and windows, so they think people are going to constantly break into their house or kill them or, you know, do something bad to them. Tidying and rearranging, that's another one. They feel relieved when they do these things because they think that that's going to stop them from being harmed and stop other people from being harmed and bad things from happening. But in reality, most of the time it's not. But it's just real to them, and they know these thoughts are unreasonable, but they just can't seem to overcome that constant fear. Social anxiety disorder. So this one I feel like a lot of people suffer from also. People just, see performing in front of others, not going to certain interactions or events, hard to go about your daily life, meeting unfamiliar people. So a lot of people claim they also have this disorder, but it's probably not this actual disorder. Because this one can be really debilitating also. You know, you don't want to meet new people, you don't want to go places, do things, you're kind of like a hermit crab in your house. You think people are constantly, you know, judging you, you're worried about, you know, how you're going to interact with somebody if you say the wrong thing. So it's really hard for them to, like, you know, make friends, talk to other people, even do what I'm doing, you know. And a lot of professors, actually, I watched another video that I shouldn't maybe shown, but it's what people with anxiety wish professors knew. So some people are really scared about, like, participating in class, and some professors think that they're just, you know, lazy or they don't know the answer, but sometimes they do, and they just really, literally have like a social anxiety where they can't speak in class. And they're just so afraid of talking in front of people and saying the wrong answer or getting, you know, saying it weirdly or something, that they just don't participate. So that's like an important one for people to realize, and for, you know, professors and school settings to realize. Specific phobias. So this is just like when people are afraid of a certain thing. Like you can be afraid of something, and it's normal to be afraid of things. But certain people have a fear of something to like an extreme, where again it becomes debilitating for their lives. So if somebody's like afraid of cars, they literally don't go near cars, don't go in cars, can't go in can't take car service. Like they literally have a panic attack if they're in a car, near a car, or something. So yeah, fear of specific multiple objects, places. Another big one is airplanes. People are really afraid of airplanes, won't go on airplanes. And my uncle used to be really afraid of airplanes.
Get over it, though. It's do or die. Do or die.
Yeah. So some people are so scared they they avoid health checkups because they're so afraid of the doctor, or they're so afraid of something like, you know, bad happening to them. And they just find it hard to go about their daily lives. And they don't avoid certain places, they change work patterns, they literally change their whole lives to try to fit this certain phobia. So it's not only being afraid of something, it's unreasonable fear. Like it's not something that can be explained, and it looks weird to other people, you know, but that's just how they feel about this certain object or place or whatever it may be. Post-traumatic stress disorder. So I feel like this one, well, it also stated that this one's a little bit less common, and it has an anxiety component, but it also has a lot of other components as well. So I'm sure we've all heard of this. It happens a lot in like police officers, veterans, people who have gone through a really bad traumatic experience, and they start having flashbacks. They're very negative, angry. Like also depression can be another component of this. They're constantly, you know, hypervigilant.